Hi, today we're going to show you how to set up the HCS2 Voyager, what comes with the machine. We're going to unbox it and then we're going to prepare the machine on top of the Happy embroidery machine stand. So let's get to it. So the first thing we need to do is lift off the top of the cardboard box. So don't cut that tape, you just need to slide it off like that. Easy as that. And now we can see what comes with the machine. So we're going to take a look at the accessories one by one and what we're going to need to prepare the machine for production. So we got the Happy manual. We got a 15 centimeter 5.9 inch hoop. We got the large 12 by 12 inch hoop. We got the main embroidery arms. We got the thread plate and all of the accessories that come with the machine, like the cover, the posts, the thread posts, and Pantograph and thread pads. So I'm going to take the pair of scissors or a razor. Now we can open the box. This is important. So on the side of the machine, here's your toolkit. So here is everything you need to actually set up the machine. So you got your Allen keys, you got your screwdriver, and lots of more little accessories that you'll need to help you set up the accessories and just get the machine set up. And after, you need to just cut the tapes from the front and back, and you'll be able to separate the pieces of foam, set them aside. Now, very important, you could probably lift this by yourself. It is recommended that you have somebody help you out. You have markers from where you can grab the machine. Please do not grab it from the front of the sewing head. Do not lift it from there. Also, do not lift it from the sewing arm. So, do not lift from the sewing arm, do not lift from the sewing head. You have markers on the side. You grab it from the middle, you grab it from the back, and you have a little hand icons from all the places where you can lift your machine. So Jorge's going to help me out and to lift the machine, put it on the table. So what we're going to do, I'm going to tilt it sideways a little bit so I can take out the foam. And on the other side as well. Okay, we're going to separate these. Take off the plastic. Careful with the arm, careful with the sewing head. Now, do not grab from the arm, do not grab from the head. So there are markers here, there are markers here, there are markers here. So I'm just going to grab it from the middle, I'm just going to grab it from the bottom. Yeah, ready? All right, there you go. Try to place it in the middle. Now, these pads will stick to the table, but we need it to be like an inch and a quarter away from the table, so that when we put the cap frame in, it won't hit the table. So we're gonna wiggle it out of place. Lift it a little bit. Try to get it in a little bit more towards the edge. Perfect. Perfect. And now we have the position for the machine, the middle, and leave like an inch and a quarter away from the edge. We are going to start unwrapping the sewing head carefully so that we can take off the locks that come with the locks for the head on either side. So take away the wrapping. Now we use the screwdriver that comes along with your Happy toolkit. we have two locks. So there's the two red circles. And on the other side as well. So why did we take off the locks? Those locks prevent the head from moving while shipping. So if you do not take off the locks and then you turn on the machine will try to move the head left and right. And if you still have the locks, you'll damage the head. So it is important that you take off the locks before operating your machine. Store them. If you need to move your machine, let's say you're moving to another shop or from your home, you're moving to another location. If you need to send it out, put those locks back in for shipping, right? So take them off. So now it's time to set up the panel. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to take off the blue tapes. We're going to unwrap it, and then we're going to get to unscrewing 2 screws and just setting up the panel correctly with the machine. Okay, let's do it. This is a 7-inch touch panel, and the Happy embroidery machines, the OS is what really makes it stand out because they're really easy to use. We'll get to those functions when we have the machine already set up. Lastly, it's important to take off this piece of tape and pop up the red emergency stop button. Otherwise, the machine won't start. And if this button is pressed down, the machine will start, pop it back up, and that's it. Okay, we have 2 screws, one on top and one on the side. First, we're going to take care of the one on top. Then one side, they're different sizes, so the bigger one is the one that goes on the side. Put the screw back on. This will hold the panel in place. The top screw, we don't need it anymore, so you could just store this in the in your toolbox. We should be good to go. It's important that you do not throw away accidentally the screws that are attached to the pantograph. They come taped to the pantograph in a little plastic bag, so take note of that so you don't accidentally throw them away. It's easier to get some scissors. So here are the screws that you need to actually secure the pantograph to the machine. So this is the y-axis. Let's take off this tape. And now we can move the base for the pantograph. So we have 2 guides on the pantograph itself, and we have 2 posts on the base for the pantograph. The guides will use them to basically set it in the post for the y-axis. So we position the pantograph, the guides for the pantograph, just making sure you align those. And now we're going to take the screws which came attached to the pantograph, one on either side, one on the right side from the bottom and one on the left side. Make sure that these are tight because these are holding the pantograph in place, and the pantograph does a lot of work. It moves the sewing arms from left to right constantly, one on the other side. So I was telling you that the pantograph moves the sewing arms from side to side constantly with a lot of force. So this needs to be tight. And lastly, we are going to set the serial cable and plug it into the machine. So this is a standard serial port. It's an old school port that works flawlessly for all those old school computer guys. You'll know these ports. They never fail. So they have a side. Make sure you plug it in correctly. So it has a shape, like a trapezoid shape. And you just need to push it in firmly and then secure it with the locks. Turn these clockwise and secure the serial port in place. If you do not put this in correctly, the machine will not recognize the pantograph and it won't move. For the next step, we're going to set up the top, which is the thread post, the base, and basically the thread rack. You need the base, we have the rack, we have posts with washers, we have the actual thread post as well, and more washers, wavy washers, and pads. So the way we're going to do it is we're going to position this on the top of the machine so it has a shape that fits in only one way. Fits only one way. We drop it in. That's it. Now we get the thread posts. Let's unwrap these real quick. And important for the thread post is the two washers that come with the posts because we need to drop them in a particular order. Okay, so we have the posts aside. Now let's open the washers. So we have three washer sizes. We have small washer, medium washer, and the thick washer. So what we're going to do, we're going to drop the small washer. We have two of these. Again. Okay, so we're going to drop the second one. Then we are going to grab
FedEx.
the thick post or the thick washer. Screw it in. Medium washer. First, we are going to make sure that it goes all the way to the bottom. We twist, twist, twist. When it's there, we continue with the thick washer clockwise. We tighten. Use your hands. That should be more than enough. Now we get the second post. Do the same thing. We do the thick washer, medium washer. We screw it in. And we finish off with our fingers, right? Okay, we're going to continue with unscrewing two screws on top of the post. So remember that with every purchase of an embroidery machine, you get on-site training. So this is just for reference. And we do help you set up the machines when you get a Happy. So that's one of the things we do here at HappyJapan USA. And if you want to do training at our office, or if you want to do training at your place of business, it's your choice in the end. So we're going to continue with the thread rack. Place it on top of the post, and those two screws that we took out, we're going to put them back in. Now we have the thread rack, the thread base. Let's continue with the thread post and the wavy washers. Okay, so next up, we have the post and we have the wavy washers. We're going to put the wavy washer below the post and we are going to insert it. And then press downwards and to the right, and that way it'll lock in. We need to do this for the 12 needle. We need to do this 12 times. One for each post, and actually it comes with 13 posts because of the bobbin. let's just put on the thread pads. It is important that when you secure the thread posts, you press downwards and to the right. Do not grab it from the post, otherwise you'll yank it out, you'll break it. So press from the base, right? So lastly, it's time to set the cover. If you do not set the cover correctly and you try to use the machine will give an error, not detecting the cover properly. So make sure you follow these steps correctly, right? So this is a cover, and it has a little lock right here. So just yank this one out. So you need to make sure that the cover is not on top, not on the bottom, but in the middle of the two hinges. And then you just drop it down, drop the middle piece down. Once it's gone through all the way, you grab the lock and you push it into place. It only fits in one way. That's it. Okay, so the machine comes pre-threaded. We're going to do one thread. I'm going to show you what is the path that we need to follow to properly thread the 12 loop. So we set a cone, we grab one of the pre-threads, and we do a double knot. When we do the double knot, please always remember that the cone starts from the first guide, always from the outside to the inside of the machine, and then it'll flow into each one of the components. And we're going to go through these as we pull from the bottom of the needle. We have a full video on how to do this. We're just going to retrace the steps. So we follow the thread through the first guide into the tensor. It'll go into the first tensor, then into the channel where it does a full turn. This is the only part where it does a full turn in the second tensor, which is also the thread break sensor. Then we have a clip. We have a clip here. We have a clip here. We have a flap. It'll go downwards through the spring, upwards, from right to left through the thread lever, and again downwards. We follow, follow, follow. We pull, 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 pull until we reach the needle head. And after that, we could just pull it through, or we could just set it up so we could thread it afterwards. Okay, we take off the blue tape from the front cover, and this is where the bobbin is. To reveal the bobbin, we just pop off the cover, and we have the bobbin case right here. It already comes with the bobbin, but you need to actually set it up correctly. And just put this back in for now. And now we're going to take a look at the sewing arms. The sewing arms come with the thumb bolts attached to it, so please don't lose these as well. I'm going to show you how to set this up in the Pantograph, and this is the last step to setting up the machine. When the machine is turned off, we can move the x-axis. When it is turned on, please do not move this with your hands. When the machine is powered off, you can. So just slide it all the way to the right or the left, then take the sewing arms and position it so that the base comes into place with the main arms. Your thumb screws, and just put them into place. Do not use tools to tighten these, you only use your hands. That's all you need, but make sure they're pretty snug. Because we discussed this before, the Pantograph moves the main arms from left to right constantly with a lot of force. So these need to be tight to get the best quality embroidery so that the design doesn't move out of place. Once you got these in, just set it back in the middle. Please be careful with the presser foot when you're putting in and taking out the main arms, so you don't accidentally bend this out of place. Just be careful with this part as well. Okay, this is where it's at. Lastly, just plug it in from the right side. It's a standard plug. The machines work with standard 110 voltage. They draw at the most like 280 watts from the wall, so they're really, really efficient Japanese embroidery machines. Just plug it back in. When you first turn it on for the first time, make this check. Did I take off the locks? Good. Is the machine with the serial cable plugged in? Good. Do I have my sewing arms ready? Yes. So it is important that when you turn on the machine, we do not recommend that you have any hoops set up. Please take off any hoops when you're gonna turn on the machine. So if you're gonna power it off for the night, take everything off, so the next day you got this space all clear, right? Now we turn on the machine from the right side. We make sure that the red emergency button is popped up, so else it won't let you turn on the machine. We get the main HappyJapan splash logo, and when we click next, the machine will do a calibration of the head. It'll move the head towards the left and to the right, and then it'll move the sewing arms as well to recognize the area, and that will begin. You'll be ready to start stitching. We click next. Great. Congratulations on your purchase of your HCS2 Voyager. Thank you.